there, little bunny. I hope you've been having a wonderful, wonderful week. And even if not, that's okay too. All that really counts right now, in this moment, little bunny, is that you and I get to spend some quality time together. I'm excited. This is always one of the highlights of my week. And that's saying a lot, because your daddy has lots of highlights in his week. And of all the highlights, you're often the most reliable highlight. I love spending time with you. You make my life better in so many different ways. And if I make your life better, which I know I do, I certainly make it more fun, then you and I have a win-win here, little bunny. What does your daddy mean by win-win? I'm going to teach you a smarty pants word, okay? This will come in handy when you need to be nice and intellectually impressive. A zero-sum game. What is a zero-sum game, little bunny? It's pretty simple. It's a game where when one person wins, they win by the other person losing. So chess is a zero-sum game. The way that you win chess is by making your opponent lose. It is win-lose. You take what we call soccer, what other people call football. You win by making the other team lose. Win-lose. There's lose-lose games. Well, those are all depressing. We won't get into that, but a lot of physical conflict is just lose-lose. But you know what's win-win, little bunny? It's when I like spending time with you, and you like spending time with me. And the fact that you and I are together right now, out of nothing, we are generating something great for both of us. That's really how 99% of life is. Really, the world is so abundant with opportunities for win-win. That's really what civilization... Oh my God, that was so loud. It's my chair cracking. Civilization, which is not a word that I've successfully made sound sexy. Civilization. That's good. I gotta make it sound kind of like I'm wise, which I am wise, little bunny. And your daddy says, little bunny, civilization is nothing but a sequence, on the whole, of win-wins. That's how we got here. That's how I have this microphone that is sending me directly to your ears, little bunny, through a wire into a computer with chips. It's radiating out Wi-Fi signals through cables underground to your phone, which is charged by electricity, to your headphones. All of those, little bunny, were the results of win-win. Anyway, your daddy doesn't need to talk about boring stuff like electricity, does he? How about you and I take a breath together? What I really want to talk to you about is also optimistic. And it's about your life, little bunny. We're going to bring some optimism towards your life. And I'm hoping to. Not hoping to anything. Okay. I want to provide you with some inspiration about your life and what you can do. Because here's the quote for the week by your daddy. He says, shoot for plan A. What What does that mean, little bunny? Shoot for plan A. Have you ever found yourself trying to accomplish some goal or wanting to accomplish a goal, and you just kind of like right from the get-go, you take plan B, not the medical plan B, but like, I'll give you an example. I have a friend of mine whom I knew growing up, and he was always the best kid at drawing. And he would love to create designs. He would very rarely draw other characters and things. He would make his own characters. He would make his own designs and things, sometimes very abstract. And he had a good mechanical mind too. And he came to a crossroads, as Americans do when they graduate high school, those who go on to study at a university. You have to pick what you want to study in the university, which tells you generally what kind of job you are more likely to get. And for my friend, his plan A was to become an architect. And I have no doubt that he would be molding skylines right now if he had shot for plan A. He ended up shooting for plan B, which was mechanical engineering. And certainly there's happiness to be found in mechanical engineering. That's some people's plan A, is mechanical engineering. But we're all good at different things, and we all thrive at different things, thrive in different professions, and have different activities that we find interesting. And so my friend, instead of shooting for plan A and becoming an architect where he would have excelled, he did plan B to get the nice, reliable employment. He actually had to drop out from genuine mechanical engineering because the math got too tough for him. But he ended up working with buildings, but he's doing like the budgeting and estimating costs and things like that. And in our little group chat, he's the most nostalgic of our little group of friends who went to high school together. It's funny, I'm the least nostalgic. Not that I'm anti-nostalgic, but that I'm just having such a fulfilling life right now. And I feel like my friend is somehow stuck at that point where he had to choose between plan A and plan B. And from the get-go, he chose plan B. The sad thing, little bunny, is that I think if it were really up to him back then, I think he would have chosen plan A. But he had parents who were very adamant that he shouldn't shoot for plan A. He should shoot for nice, safe, easier to achieve plan B. And I tell you this story because I want you to think about your life right now. You could think about the past if you want, but I'd like to encourage you to think about the present and the future. I get the feeling like you might be at some kind of crossroads right now of your life, where you're trying to figure things out. Maybe it's career, maybe it's not career at all. Could be something creative related, or could be choosing where to move if you're going to move somewhere. Whether it's to a different city or within your city or to a different house or something. I just had a conversation with someone who was in a conundrum of trying to figure out where to move. For whatever reason, maybe you recognize this in yourself. A lot of people tend to gravitate towards let me just start with plan B. They know where they want to move to. They know the neighborhood or the type of roommate they want. And I'll be like, oh, you can totally do that. Here's how you find the roommate you want. Here's how you do the neighborhood you want. And they're like, yeah, man, I wish. We'll see. They shoot for plan B. Are you starting to feel guilty, little bunny? What's your thing? Let's think about your life. Something in the present or future, especially some decision you're making. Some aspiration, ambition, desire you have. Sorry, I had to pause 1 second, little bunny. Oh, when that happens, I lose my train of thought. So maybe, since your daddy forgot whatever he was saying, maybe let's just take a moment for me to tell you, little bunny. You know I love you. I say that 1,000,000 times. But there's other things I think of you. And one thing I think of you is that you're very capable. I guarantee you are more capable than you think you are. 1 second. Okay, we're good. Very rarely do I encounter people who, I mean, it's possible, but I doubt it's you. Because you're not anyone, little bunny. You're my little bunny. And I have some sense of who you are on the inside. You're far more capable than you give yourself credit for. I wrote down some notes, like reasons that we shoot for plan B. And I will say I'm also guilty of this. And in fact, I'm supposed to have already talked about stuff like Patreon and other goings on in the garden. Whatever. Patreon exists. I love you, little bunny. Okay. A lot of Patreon only content. Quite a bit of it. That's where the juicy stuff is. Okay. To my notes here, little bunny. Yeah. Okay, let's think in the past for a moment. Let's think in your past, little bunny. Is there a time when you shot for plan B instead of plan A? Why was that? Well, one reason might be the fear of failure. It's like we so desperately don't want to fail that we pre-fail ourselves, you know? It's like we think it doesn't count if we didn't try. Oh, I struggle with that. I do. I'm getting so much better at it, though. But it's so tempting to be like, oh man, I really want to go for this thing, but there's a good chance I'll fail. So let me just not try in the first place. That way I'll not have failed, you know? It's the classic quote, which I guess is a cliche now, but it's so good, which is that you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. That's a sport analogy. Think of, I mean, that one's from hockey, but basketball is more fun for this example. And just more fun. I like basketball. So, you know, basketball, you throw the ball in the air, you try and get it in the hoop, in the basket. And basketball is one of these sports where, like, no one hits it all the time. Like, no one makes it all the time. I don't know what percentages we're dealing with here. I'm going to make this up. Oh my God, my screen is so bright. Steph Curry, what do you even call it? Shot percentage, whatever it is. Okay, so at the very best level of basketball, you're going to hit half of the shots that you make. Actually, less than half the shots. You see, average. This is getting so boring. Okay. Average shot percentage, NBA. Okay. So check it out, little bunny. All these basketball players, you can look up their stats online. Okay. You want to See how Gogo shoots in basketball? You can look up his stats and it'll show his team, and it'll show every time he takes a shot, what are the chances that it goes in. Imagine you're a basketball player, little bunny. Imagine you're a basketball player. And let's say you care a lot about these statistics, little bunny, because how vain are we that we care so much about our perceived success and things like that, and just, I don't know, personal pride and things. Actually, that is a zero-sum game, trying to make your stats better than other people's. I guess if you're ranking each other. Anyway, imagine you're a basketball star, little bunny, and you shoot the basketball, and you know every time you miss that basketball, that's getting recorded, and that's going online to the eternal stats of your career, and your shot percentage, or whatever they call it, goes down. Oh no, my little bunny missed the basket. And they go from 40% chance to 39% chance. And you, little bunny, you drop in the rankings. Oh. It's okay, your daddy still loves you. Your daddy does not care even slightly about that. The players who are going to contribute to their team winning are going to be okay with that number going down. Imagine if you wanted to make your win percentage. Oh, this is so boring. Forgive me, little bunny. You love me. Oh, you love me so much. All in service of oh. All in service of giving you a good episode, little bunny. Your daddy's doing his best. He's taking a shot, like he does every week, without fail. Follow the Is this the right time for me to tell you to follow the podcast? When your daddy has talked like 10 minutes about basketball shooting percentages. What I mean to say is, little bunny, you could make your win percentage look pretty high if you only take easy shots. That's really what I'm trying to get at. Little bunny NBA basketball star. Take only the easy shots and boom, my little bunny makes 80% of the baskets. Highest percentage in the whole NBA. But then it turns out that you're going to lose more games because, little bunny, you're not taking the chances. You're not taking the shots that might have gone in, that you should be taking, that you're missing out on. Take those shots, even if it's quote-unquote likely that you'll fail. Even if it's almost certain that you'll fail. You don't have one chance at anything, really. Only in these weird competitions that you can only do so many times. In pretty much all of life, I mean, you get kind of an infinite number of tries on things. You can just try again and try again and try again and try again. So take this shot, little bunny. Shoot for plan A. Yeah, who cares what the win percentage is? Who cares what the percentage likelihood is? My friend's parents didn't want my friend to fail as an architect. They didn't want him to try and be an architect and fail, which it turns out like it's... Being an architect actually is a fairly safe profession choice, but for whatever reason, I don't know, they perceived their son being a great architect as being something that wasn't likely to happen. Ergo, he should shoot for plan B. That's so sad. And now he's really, he can't go back at this point. His family situation has changed to where he can't go back and study to be an architect or anything. I would hate for you if there's something that's really important in your life, little bunny. I would hate for you to throw it away, just for fear you might fail. And then somehow by shooting for plan B, you can pretend you never failed. Really, the biggest failure is not trying. Not trying is worse than trying and failing. I'm going to brag about one of your fellow bunnies for a moment. So she's looking to find a romantic partner. And man, it can be tough these days, can't it, little bunny? It's kind of funny. Even the bigger the city you're in, the harder it gets, because for whatever reason, the psychology goes all backwards and upside down. And in anything romance, you got to shoot your shot. You got to get out there. You got to literally go to the event if you want to do things in person. You got to go make yourself available. You got to go flirt with people. You got to go give good hugs. You got to go. I don't know. Should I do an episode teaching you how to flirt? Maybe I will. Let me know, little bunny. You can always email me, Lindy@lindysgarden.com or Daddy@lindysgarden.com, whichever you prefer. But yeah, this bunny of yours, she's in for some great success. Because you know what? She's not choosing to not try. She's choosing to take the shot. And in a city that's big like the one she lives in, the shot percentage is small, you know? It's hard to date these days. It just is. But she's gonna succeed big time. So can you, little bunny. The biggest failure is not taking the shot. What are some other reasons, as Daddy looks at his notes, that we shoot for plan B? Maybe it's a lack of belief in yourself. That maybe no matter how many times you do take the shot, somehow you're not able to succeed at the thing. Total bogus, little bunny. Total bogus. Taking my word for it. Having been someone who's seen a few things in life. Old enough to have experience, but young enough to have many, many years ahead of me. You know, if you pick whatever topic, it doesn't have to be romance or anything. Pick whatever your plan A is that you're considering shooting for, and you're thinking as you listen to your daddy encourage you and in all these honest, truthful ways, in the wisdoms that he has accrued. 1 second. Okay. Yeah, it's possible. Let's pick an activity. I'll do one that I will tell you one from your daddy's life. So your daddy is a musician, as you surely know. And back in the high school days, there's all kinds of competitions and things. Back when the world is still full of win-lose, zero-sum games. And then those all disappear once you leave that very structured type of life. There was this really, really difficult music competition. And I'll keep it general. But you have to go and you have to do like an audition, and you have to compete in this huge room full of people, and you have to go up one by one and you play your music, and there's like judges hiding behind hiding in the corner, like rating you and stuff like that. And yeah, it's like so hard, or it's so competitive to get like the number one spot that the odds are just literally against your favor. Quote unquote, it's almost certain you won't win it, you know? And for whatever reason, you know, I'm practicing for this thing. Practicing. And even friends and people that I looked up to would kind of be like, the chances are so slim. I just want you to know, like, don't be unrealistic here. Your chances of success are so slim. And I really internalized it, little bunny. And I think out of the total number of people, because you have to do like the first competition to qualify for the second competition, and then they pick like the top one person. And I think out of a total of 200 people total, do you know where your daddy placed? He placed number 2. And thinking back on it, I genuinely don't think that the person who was number 1 was better than me. I think I really, on some level, believed the people I looked up to, who said, you are not going to get number 1. Trust me, I didn't get number 1. You're not going to get number 1. Oh, so-and-so was so good and he didn't get number 1. There's no way you'll get number 1. And then your daddy succeeded in not getting number 1 as well as can be possibly done by getting precisely number 2. Oh, and you know what's funny? Like the next year or the year previous, I don't know. I was like, in that competition, because you can do it a few times, I had like beaten several people who were number 1 in years prior. And it's like, it's so ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. Doesn't matter now. I mean, it's like, it's a meaningless honor. But I came away with a really good lesson, which is that even sometimes the people who are your friends and whom you look up to, sometimes they're the ones who discourage you the most. They don't mean it meanly. It's not this kind of Disney movie the kids are like, there's no way you'll ever succeed. I think maybe they just kind of want to help you, or maybe they're expressing their own insecurities about how they failed at something, or how they chose plan B and it makes them deeply uncomfortable to see someone shoot for plan A. You know, there's some weird psychology that we have around being angry at people succeeding at things. I don't know if it's a jealousy or what it is. But I want you to shoot for plan A. And I don't really want to tell you what to do. I very much don't want to be someone who tells you what to do or tells you what to believe. But I'll say, if you're trying to choose between plan A and plan B, you are capable of plan A. So capable. What else does your daddy have on his notes? Oh, yeah. Just a little tidbit. I feel like we'll probably call the episode here. But just a little tidbit. As far as how big your plan A is, how grandiose. Actually, I have more stuff that I want to tell you. I don't want to call it here. The more challenging or the more unlikely the success is, the more people will accuse you of having delusions of grandeur. You think you're going to be a best-selling New York Times bestseller author, Oh, such delusions of grandeur, they would say. Even just getting a book published is very, very challenging. Little bunny, in the past year, 2 people that I know, one person just got their book published, not even self-publishing, which is also respectable these days, but to where traditional publisher, someone I knew before she even had a book deal. She's a published author now. A former roommate of mine whom I knew. And I had this very conversation I'm having with you now with him. I literally had a meeting with him to talk about this. And he was living his life in Plan B. And I was like, buddy, you're so capable of Plan A. Oh my God. Wow. I should tell you about my old roommate. He is a journalist for a group that you would know. And he covers sports. And he had always wanted to be kind of a more, I don't want to say serious journalist, but he might agree with that terminology. He's an artist, you know? He's an artist with words, and he's stuck reporting the latest scores. Just kind of like announcing the results kind of thing, and that's his job, and pays his bills and things like this. And way back when, it goes back to college, he had a choice between a Plan A where he would have done a genuine journalism school. I don't have the details 100% right here, but the spirit is correct. To go to a really great journalism school and really study that. Or he can do kind of an easier school. He can play more sports because he's an athlete himself. And he went with Plan B, and he deeply regrets it. And I had the talk with him. I'm like, dude, stop living in the past. You can shoot for Plan A right freaking now. And just got the news like a couple weeks ago that he got a book deal from an article that he wrote in a genuine newspaper, which you've certainly heard of. Not sports reporting, but genuine journalism of the sort that he finds very interesting and fulfilling. And he just got a book deal from it. And he had talked so long about wanting to write a book. I want to write a book. I want to write a book. I'm like, why can't you? Why can't you? He's like, oh. And he knew, he's like, probably self-limiting beliefs. I won't take credit for it. Of course I won't take credit for it. It's all him. But I like knowing that I was part of the force that nudged him to not giving up on Plan A or rediscovering an ambition to just shoot for what you really want. Go for what you really want. None of this settling before you've even tried. Such an absurd way to live. I have friends in really, so like back to music competitions and stuff. Music is one of these industries that it's quote unquote impossible to succeed in. I have so many friends right now who had to listen to that spiel of, oh, there's so many people and everyone's so good and it's impossible to stand out. It's impossible to be successful, blah, blah, blah. I have so many friends in music whom I knew before they were successful, who became successful, little bunny. And they would have all, if they had, back when they were, in their younger years, they had said, I want to be blank in terms of the profession or the group they want to play with or the success they want. If they had said that, people that they look up to, even their friends would have said, sounds like you have delusions of grandeur. I'm afraid you need to come back down and be less ambitious, and don't make everyone else feel so bad for trying hard and aiming high. And of course they go on. Grammy Awards, top ensembles of classical music. They're just... Now everyone says, oh, I knew it all along. There was no way they weren't going to succeed. Even me, little bunny, let's say, if I'd said, I'm going to start saying sexy things into a microphone, and then I'm going to find minor celebrity status in a couple of years, would have been, Lindy's having delusions of grandeur again. And then, of course, when you succeed, they say, I knew it all along. He was always going to be successful. So, where are you right now in your life, little bunny? What is the plan A that I have rekindled the excitement for? And I will do it with you, because I have a plan A that I've been working on this past week. I announced it a long time ago, about a year ago, I guess, that I was going to be making a winter garden video game, like a winter vacation garden video game. It's going to be lots of voice acting. This time it will be acting because it's fiction. But a nice little story you can play. One second. Okay. And it's going really, really well. And I think I'm going to shoot for releasing it this winter. And I can choose, do I want it to be something like kind of humble, just release it for the Patreon or something, or maybe a little freebie for podcast listeners or something. And I'm like, you know what? That sounds like shooting for plan B. I mean, not that I want to have a crap ton of awesome stuff on Patreon, but in terms of budget, if I do something just kind of like for the podcast or the Patreon, it's got to be low budget, just because of how the numbers have to add up. But this week I reached out to like a legit professional artist who is going to be able to pump out the art in time, because it's a lot of art. I would put out a casting call for bunnies, but it's a major project, it'll be full time for this artist for at least a month. And it's like, yeah, I'm going to drop some serious money on this, because plan A is to have a really badass game and post it on Steam, and it's going to have to, people are going to have to buy it, because it's going to have to recoup the cost of dropping thousands of dollars on an artist. And it's like, there's always that pull that says, don't bother going for it. There's a risk you won't make your money back. So many people are making games. So many people don't make their money back. Who are you to think that you'll succeed when all these other people aren't succeeding? That's those people again, although they're well-meaning. It's the people who want you to shoot for plan B. So just as I'm inspiring you, little bunny, to shoot for plan A, I'm going to inspire myself, and I want you to inspire me. I want you to say, Daddy Lindy, Shoot for plan A. Make the badass game. Drop the money, and then you're just going to have to make it good enough to make the money back. You'll have to help me promote the game. You don't have to buy it, but you will have to put it on your Steam wish list. Mwahaha. So let's take a moment. Let's do a hand hug if you know how to do that. Why don't you cradle your thumb? Like bring your hand into a fist, and your thumb's going to poke out between your middle and your ring finger. It's like you're hugging your thumb a little bit. It's kind of get it nice and cozy. It's almost like a hug that exists within your hand. And I've got my hand like this, and we're going to squeeze on the count of 3. And when I squeeze my hand, when you squeeze your hand, we'll be connected. And we're going to pledge to each other, little bunny. If you choose to, I won't make you do anything. I don't know. In a spicy audio, I'll make you do stuff. On the count of 3, we're going to give each other the energy and the strength to shoot for plan A. You ready? 1, 2, 3, squeeze. Shoot for plan A, little bunny. Shoot for plan A. Now you're telling to me, say shoot for plan A, daddy. You can do plan A. Release your hand. Okay. I think I'm going to get to bed. I'm going to check to see if this artist has replied to me. Let's see. Refresh. Literally, there were conversations right here. Okay. I haven't heard back from my last message. That's fine. I'm going to get some sleep, little bunny. And I will wake up tomorrow morning. Actually, while I fall asleep, I'll listen to my audiobook that's about game design. And then I will wake up refreshed and ambitious tomorrow morning. And I will write you a poem and send you on your way to your plan A. Okay, poem will probably say it better. Good night, little bunny. I'll talk to you in a second. Good morning, little bunny. I think I slept well. I'm a sludge this morning, so I'm going to write/read you your poem ASAP and then go get myself some coffee. Your poem today is short and sweet, and it goes like this. Despite the predictions of failure others convey, don't shoot for plan B. Shoot for plan A. Have a great, great week, little bunny. Make me proud. Got it? Yeah, be a good little bunny. Okay. Take care. I love you. I love you. I love you.